Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you this Yeacool camouflage netting, and I'm going to show you why I bought it and what my uses for it were going to be. Now, as you can tell, this is not traditional camouflage netting. It's not the military stuff with the strings and very heavyweight stuff. This is very lightweight, very easy to work with, and going to be perfect for the project. And I'll show you the start of the project. Of course, I can't finish it the whole time while I'm doing the video, but I'll show you my main idea for this, because I have two main ideas using this. Now, this is digital desert camo, but they also have it in woodland, white, dark green, and ocean camo as well, that blue, dark blue kind of color stuff. It comes with this on top of it. It also comes with some zip ties. And believe it or not, if I can get this out of here, it all comes packed in this little bag. So you can get this further down than I did. I was just messing around with it last night, trying to shape it out and everything. One of the main reasons I picked this up is because it's not the military camo netting. It's cuttable. If you've ever tried to cut the military camo netting, you know that there's those little, twine in between everything, and it's more of a thick, heavy kind of material, and it's very difficult to get it down to the size you want. Now, my main goal for this was to set up a shade for the back of my vehicle. A lot of times when I'm operating with some kind of event with the Ham Club, I'm usually operating out of the back of my vehicle. And I usually have my solar panels up on top of my roof, and I have my my actual solar box right there and my radio there. And usually it's sunny and hot out here. Even in the winter, it can be sunny and annoying out here. So what this is going to do is provide some shade over the top of back there. Now, I'm going to have to measure it and cut it down to size, and I'll do that later, and we'll do a whole video on that. But I'm going to show you what it looks like to begin with. But first, I'm going to give you some information on this. So you can use this for tons of different stuff. You can use this for hunting, for outdoor sports, any kind of tactical or military type applications, natural concealment, bird watching, photography, you name it, you can do it. You can even set up sunshades like I'm going to do, or privacy barriers between your properties. It's pretty wide range of stuff you can do with it. It's easy to cut, like I said. There's no interwoven ropes or strings or anything you have to sew back together again. It's washable and it's reusable, so that's kind of cool too. It is a thick kind of plasticky fabric. What is it again? Gosh, I forget what they call it. Oh, I'm sorry. 150D polyester. That's what it is. So it is kind of a heavy-duty fabric. Again, this will tear if you yank on it. That's not my goal. I didn't need something that would be super, super strong. I needed something that would be a little bit denser and a little bit easier to cut. And depending on the military camouflage netting that I get, it may not be as dense as this, and it definitely isn't as easy to cut down to shape. I also want, this is a very large one. I'll get into sizes on it later. I also want to cut this in half and use the other half as a way to kind of conceal my tent if I want to be concealed somewhere out while I'm camping. Again, this is huge. I can cut this down. I could roll this up to even be smaller. I just kind of folded it neatly and left it here in a pile so I could kind of explain to you what I'm going to do with it and not bother to roll it all up just to tear it apart and show you how it works. So, it is quick drying, it is waterproof, it's non-glare. I believe it's treated with something to make it non-glare. And it is a 3D leaf pattern, and like I said, it's the 150D polyester fabric. Now, this is only 5 feet wide, this particular one. And I'll go over the sizes in 1 second. But you can cut it here and make it made up to make it wider if you want. I find the 5 feet wide is actually perfect for my use. You may want it to be 10 feet wide. So you take two 5 feet pieces, cut it down the middle, and attach them in the center. And I kind of think that's what these zip ties are for. But anyway, this is just a real simple item, pretty basic, and I'm going to show you its uses in a little bit here. We're going to take it outside. Now, the sizes. All right. This one is 16.4 feet by 5 feet. They also offer a smaller one, which is 6.5 by 5. It's a little bit small for my uses because I want to be able to cut one 6-foot down and one 10-foot portion down. And then they have a bigger one that's 32.8 feet by 5 feet as well. And again, like I said, with the 5 feet wide, for my uses, that's going to be fine. But if you want something thicker or wider than 5 feet, you'll just cut it down the center and attach the two in the middle. Real simple. So I'm going to use this basically as the sunshade over the back of my vehicle. But you can use this anywhere. You can set it up pretty much anywhere. I'm going to throw it out on trees and show you how it can make you a little, like a blind or a bunker kind of area where you could hide a little bit. You could use it over a rifle to break up the pattern, and we'll show you that too. Or you could use it over a fence or something to protect your garden. Anything like that where you feel it'll blend in. I chose this color because this is the most natural color out here. Unfortunately, where I'm going to do this in my yard is nothing but green and brown trees, so it won't really match too well. But generally out in the wilderness, this is the color that you'll be looking at. So what we're going to do, instead of me talking, is we're going to take this outside, and I'm going to set it up on the back of my vehicle like I want to set it up, and show you that first, and then we'll move around to all the different types of uses that we have for it. All right, so here you can see the back of my vehicle, the way I have this set up. Now you'll notice it's drooping on the ground there. That's going to get trimmed up at a later date. I want just enough there so I could put like a rock or something heavy to hold it in place. But I'm going to walk you around here and show you, please excuse if I'm not steady here, I'm going to walk you around and show you what it looks like and why I do this. Because you see in here, see, it's bright and sunny out here, excuse me, but once you get inside here, you get that nice shade. And this is generally the area I'd be working in if I was doing some kind of ham radio stuff, or, you know, helping in a emergency, or even camping out, you know, if I want a little shade in my vehicle. And like I said, I'll show you the bottom here. So down at the bottom, as you can tell, yeah, that's going to need to be trimmed up a little bit, and I will figure out a way to make a straight line with something heavy. I might even use some just plain old unloaded lead bullets on the bottom just to give it a little weight and a flat surface, but there's way too much down there now, but we'll trim that up later. But you can see how easy it is just to drape over something and to make a nice little neat area. And the shade this gives off is really, really nice. So to have that little bit of area to go in and cool off a little if you're working an event or something, definitely handy. And again too, what I trim off I'll be able to use to possibly cover a tent or something else out in the wilderness, or a rifle or whatever. Something just to keep, you know, prying eyes off things and hide it a little better. So let's try this out somewhere else. So here's the side of my property. This is an area I don't really get on camera very often, but this will give you an idea of the size of this thing and how easy it is to put it up. If you're in an area and you want a little bit of camo or shade, you can pretty much put this up almost anywhere. And it's good because it sticks to everything natural, you know. I just threw it in that bush over here, and boom, there you go. You know, it just plopped right in there and grabbed on. So let's take a look. This will let you see how big this is too. And this isn't even fully extended, but you can see how this would really set up nicely for any kind of camo. And again, as I said, my lawn isn't the natural colors of this area. If you look over this way, that's kind of the dirt and the desert and everything. That's a little more natural colors. But up in the mountains or something, or where we camp, this would be a perfect way to kind of conceal your tent or cover things up. Cover up an ATV maybe, or a vehicle. Anyway, let's move on to the next place. Alright, so here's where I was saying it would be perfect for a sunshade for a garden. Now if you look over here, of course I'm not going to be shading my corn. I have some corn growing up in there. And this is kind of my little experimental garden I grow in the summer to see what grows here and what doesn't. If I really need to grow food for food production, I have a whole half acre back that way that I can grow on, but this is kind of just for us, for fun. And let me show you what it looks like. There you go. And like I said, it just drapes over things and sticks to stuff. You know, it catches little branches or edges of things. Makes it very, very simple to set up like that. So let's take it and show you its last use. I'm going to set it up over on the side there, and I'll show you what else you can use it for. Now, perhaps out in the desert, the biggest enemy of hiding things in camouflage is the color black. Underneath there is a Savage 308 rifle, well hidden under there. Excuse my nose, the allergies are getting to me. Definitely well hidden under there. Again, it's not natural colors, you know. If I wanted to hide it here, I probably would have gotten some of the urban camo, the urban digital camo, you know, that gray and white stuff. But you see how well that works, and it does hide the shape and That's what you're really trying to do with camouflage, is break up the shape of objects. Break up the shape, break up the color, and you never want camo to be neat. You know, you never want to fold it over neatly on the ends, and you want it just to lay there and flop down. So, let's show you what it looks like without the camo on it. And I'll put it down this way, and I'll pull it off for you. And there you go. So you can see that definitely hides it nicely. And it's just another idea of what you can do with this camo. So let's bring everything inside, and I'll give you my final thoughts on it. Let you know how I feel, give you some information on pricing and where you can pick it up. So we got everything piled up here. This roll over here to the side is my roll from the car. I'll probably put some bungees around that, have that ready to go with the car if I need it. And I did cut down a smaller piece that I can use for tents, or like I showed you for the rifle. Kind of works very well. So that is my review of the Yeacool camouflage netting. Fairly affordable in price. It runs from $9.99 to $31.99. And again, that's the different sizes. The 16 by 5 is the one I have here. The 6 by 5 is probably the $9.99 one. And the largest one, of course, the 32 feet, 32.8 feet by 5 feet, would be the $31.99. So if you're interested in picking some up, got it down in my links down below. I have a link to it right there. I like this stuff. It's easy to work with. It's a whole lot easier to work with than military camo netting. It may not hold up as well, but I'm not looking for it to hold up as well. I'm looking for this to be a sunshade, maybe a temporary camouflage type situation where I want to cover something up. If I'm riding an ATV and I want to cover it up so it doesn't attract too many people thinking about stealing it. Whatever, you know, if I want to cover up my tent so it's not as obvious from the outside. It's, you know, it's more of a cover and a shade and less of something that needs to be super heavy duty that's going to be hung up for days on end outside. So anyway, that's my review of it. I hope you guys enjoy it. I actually am going to really like having this stuff, especially for the back of the vehicle, like I showed you in the first one, because it makes it so much cooler with just that little bit of shade. Out here in the desert, it's not very humid, but the sun beating down you is what gets you. So that's the review for it. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out our Amazon links down below to check out any of the things we have for sale. And pretty much everything I review I put in my Amazon store, so you can check it out in there. And don't forget to check out our Thrive Life link down below if you're just getting started in some freeze-dried food. That's a good place to start. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.